Hello, everyone. My name is Fred Thompson, and hopefully, I'll get this year started off right like everyone else. Starting off 2026 with some New Year's resolutions, and I know that's probably for a lot of us something that we hope to obtain without that much effort or without that much expense. So, let me tell you a little about myself first of all. I'm a health and fitness minister, and I have a Spirit Fit ministry. It's the Spirit of Fitness and the Fitness Spirit Ministries. It is registered in Monmouth County and Middlesex County, and it's a not-for-profit ministry, health and fitness ministry, that educates my clients and myself as well into aspects of being healthy, healthier lifestyles, uh, healthier way to do things, um, and all the goals, healthier goals. And I'm retired from the United States Army. I was a medical specialist, and I was retired with 100% service-connected disability, PTSD, which I'm currently still being treatment for. That was in 1978. So I served from 1974 to 1978, and I was stationed at West Point, United States Military Academy, and I was supposed to be a cadet. However, that didn't work out because I was already married and my wife was already pregnant. So I was inducted into the service as an enlisted member with full rights to whatever education benefits and everything I wanted to do to pursue my career in the military as a medical specialist. Okay. And in 1989, I was retired from the military, 100% service connected disability. In 1991, I started my fitness career because at that time I had done some work with recreational therapy, and I worked under a recreational therapist in what was a CETA program back then. We could all do like a government job and get paid for it. So I did that for about 3 years. At which time I was also the editor in chief of the Horizon newsletter. And on the outings, I mostly participated with the other clients, and I did head counts and took notes to who participated in activities and things of that nature. But my first real fitness experience came in 1991. As a kiddie fitness instructor, I taught after school kiddie fitness program for first, second, and third graders at Appleby uh, Elementary School in Spotswood, New Jersey. And then in 1992, I started my first fitness career at the local gym and pursued my first personal training certifications. In 1996, I incorporated SpearFit as part of the ministry to help clients to get into shape, improve their lifestyles, improve their health, and their well-being of that nature. In 2000, I registered SpearFit in Monmouth and Middlesex counties, and for 25 years since 2000, since '96 actually when I started, I was a bodybuilder. I was Mr. New Jersey 6 times, 5 years in a row. Natural, 100% natural, drug tested bodybuilder. And I did that from 1996 until 2002. So 25 plus years. I was a personal trainer, health and fitness instructor, fitness director, and I worked at the YMCA in Florida, Sarasota, Florida. And I worked at a number of health and fitness clubs, New York Sports Clubs being one of them. And Workout Zone, I was a private owner. And there I was a fitness director and hired fitness instructors for fitness classes and personal trainers also. Okay, and as Mr. New Jersey, I won like 6 years, 6 times Mr. New Jersey, 5 years in a row with two nationals, second and two nationals also. Okay? And then in 1996, I enrolled into Rutgers University and started off on my fitness career. And in 1997, I was accepted into Rutgers University into my Bachelor's of Science degree program. And in 2004, I graduated with my Bachelor's in Exercise Science from Rutgers University. And that was, oh my God, that was so eye opening, so awakening, such a real realization to me that because ever since I was a kid, I was always into health and fitness. I used to watch Jack LaLanne every morning before going to school. It was about maybe 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning on CBS, and it was a black and white TV we had like back in the day. And I'd be the first one up, and I'd turn on Jack LaLanne, and whatever he was doing that day, I did it for 30 minutes, the full workout, and I felt great. And then I had breakfast, and I went to school. I did that all throughout my youth until I got into high school when I started participating in sports, then wrestling, football, and track and field. And I was a letter student, also a varsity letter student. And as a wrestler, I defeated our state champ in a dual meet 4-0, and that made the papers and everything. That was exciting because the coach never told me he was a state champ before the match. It wasn't until after I won 4-0 and shut him out that the coach told me that he was the state champ, and I almost flipped. But I was glad that I won because this guy was undefeated. He'd never lost a match in his life until he met me. But okay, so that was my wrestling days in high school, and also did football until I got an injury right here. This pinky finger is oddly deformed because there was another student. His name was look at that. It's not supposed to do that. His name was Bill Hogan, and maybe he was about 200, 300 pounds as a sophomore, and he stepped on my hand, and I let out a yell, and everybody knew something was wrong. And I got up, and that's my finger was deformed, and I kind of freaked, and I popped it back into place. And after I did that, the coach told me to go see the athletic trainer, Mr. Riley, and I did. And he took two tongue depressors and put it there and taped it up and said, "You can't practice for like 2 to 3 weeks." And I said, "Okay, that's it. I'm done." So my sophomore year in football ended then. I didn't have regrets until my senior year when we won the state championship in football. So that was an opportunity, missed opportunity there, but then I was still healthy and I was still happy. So in 2004, I graduated my bachelor's and we moved to Arizona, from New Jersey to Arizona, where I worked in the YMCA and also at a health and fitness club. Uh, and Also, I started classes at ASU in 2008 for recreational therapy. Yes, I was finally coming to my lifelong ambition, to be a recreational therapist. So for 2 years, I studied as a recreational therapist, and in 2010, graduated. And at the same time, my wife passed away from breast cancer, and she was 55 years old. Uh, I was 54. We were both in our youth, and that was a terrible loss for me at that time. Because at the same time, I found out that my supervisor, who was I was working with under the VA hospital in Phoenix, Arizona, as recreational therapist volunteer and working in housekeeping. And I put in 4 times in 4 years for the promotion to recreational therapy. Come and find out, though, from a fellow employee that the supervisor was jealous of me and my degrees, and so he vowed he was never going to promote me to the position that I've been pursuing. And unfortunately, when the employee told me this, I felt really bad, and I was already depressed from my wife passing away, and so I kind of went into a dark place at that time in 2010. And for 10 years until COVID, I didn't want to work too much, so I didn't want to volunteer too much either. So I kind of, in 2021, I retired at 65. And that was 4 years ago. And now, oh, actually 5 years now because it's 2026. So that was 5 years ago when I retired, but I'm coming out of retirement as of last year, 2025, when I started pursuing uh, my associate's degree in occupational mind body studies with HMI, And I finished the first year already. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I've been practicing with clients for 6 months now, and I feel like I'm ready to embark on a new journey. With this last year in classes and evaluating myself, and then working with the clients and the other students and the instructors, I've come to realize that there is more potential than I have, and there's more that I can give. And I've always been a healer, a helper, and done as much as I could. I was an in-home health aide during the time I was a student, also for about 7, 8 years. I worked in-home health care with clients that needed someone to take care of them, provide for them, help them with daily activities of daily living, and food shopping, and doing the normal things that they need help with. I did that also from like 2000, no, from 96 until 2010. Okay. So now I'm coming out of retirement and I'm taking Spearfit 2000, that's the ministry, to the next level. Okay. Um, I've always worked one on one with people very successfully because as a child, uh, I would sit with my parents and the adults and be quiet, unlike other children. You would hardly even know I was in the room, but I'd listen to them and I'd learn from them. And they would allow me because I wasn't like the other kids. I wouldn't jump around and make noise or play or anything to disturb them. And I listened to their conversations and I learned a lot at an early age. So I learned also how to listen. So talking is one of my not good qualities. I'll admit it. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm a good conversationalist when someone else starts the conversation. Um, Sometimes I do initiate conversations, but like I said, I don't do that much talking. I'm not a phone person. I never have been a phone person. Ever since we had telephones since I was a kid, I used to hate the phone. I didn't want to talk to anyone on the phone. When they called me, I said, "Oh, I got to do something. I'm busy," and then I'd hang up, and that was it. I did. I'm still not a phone person to this day, and we have phones everywhere. I have an iPhone right here, and I rarely get calls now because I don't give everybody my number. That's it. If they don't have my number, they can't call me. So, and I can't be bothered. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about our bodies. Now, our physical bodies are given to us. They're on a loan basis from our divine creator. I don't care if you call him God, Elohim, Buddha, Jesus, or whoever. God has many names. And what we know is that he is a divine intelligence, he is a superior intelligence, he is probably someone or something that has been in our imagination that was placed there by him, obviously, to let us know about his awareness, his existence, and so that we can learn to be not just physical beings, but spiritual beings as well. Because the silent part of us, that invisible part of us that we can't see, we can't really touch, we can't smell, we can't taste, and we don't hear because there's no tangible evidence of the soul and the spirit. But we know from experience sometimes our feelings, our intuition, our gut feelings, these all lead us to question, what is there besides life? Is there life after life? Is there an existence after being here in this physical body, and we die? Because death is inevitable for all of us. We all have a death sentence or day of reckoning when we will go before our master, our creator, and divine creator, and we're judged. It says, scriptures say that it's appointed to man to live but once and then a judgment. So we have a life to live, and after that life, we're judged on how we live that life. Now, God wants us to live the best life possible. In order to do that, we need to recognize God first, okay? And then put Him first with everything we pursue, our careers, our families, our livelihood, our friends, our associates, people we embark with. He wants us to be social. God created us not to be alone, not to be loners, not to be hermits, not to be isolated, not to be abandoned. He created us all to be groups, to form families, you know, to love one another and to share that love with one another and to love Him as He's loved us. He's given us so much. Everything we have comes from Him, and everything that's made is created by Him. He is the divine, all knowing, all loving, like supernatural, spiritual entity. Okay? And that's all good, because we know that nothing but good can come of good. No. So our health is our true wealth. When we take care of ourselves, we can take care of others as well. Okay? Now, I'm going to go into some basics about uh, human anatomy, physiology, exercise, and things of that nature because that's my forte. That is my creme de la creme. And the first thing I want to mention is about body types. Now, there are basically three body types, and here they are. Okay, this first one is what we call an ectomorph. An ectomorph means that the body is long, is slim, is thin, and there's not that much weight to it. So, but there are people that we call them hard gainers because they want to gain weight because they're not happy with the weight they have. That's all. Then the next body type is the mesomorph. The mesomorph is between the skinny guy and the big guy, which is what we call like muscular or average build, to that stature. And then the endomorph, the thick, boned, rounded individual who tends to put on a lot more weight than normal or than usual. And that endomorph is what we call the third body type. So all three of these also comes in between the ecto and the meso and the ectomesomorph, and between the meso and the endomorph is the mesoendomorph. So those are not that relevant, but we do pay attention to them when we consider weight loss. And that's another thing. I don't like to use the term weight loss or weight reduction or uh, losing weight because that word loss, losing, has a negative connotation. And I've been using positive words of encouragement whenever I meet my clients who want to correct their weight. Okay. I consider the term weight management to be more appropriate because, like I said, when we think weight loss, we think negative. It's a negative connotation. Not only that, but when you lose something, you always want it back. You wish you could find it or whatever. And we lose weight, we get it back, and it comes back because we miss it, and we get the weight back. So we don't want to lose weight. We want to maintain or manage our weight. Now, what I mean by that is, if you ever gone to bed at night, before you went to bed, weigh yourself. Okay, do this. Do this tonight. Weigh yourself before you go to bed, if you have a scale. And then in the morning, weigh yourself again. And you'll come to discover that you're a few pounds lighter in the morning than you were before you went to bed at night. And the reason for that is because while you were sleeping, your body used a tremendous amount of energy for dream states and for building and repairing your cells and proteins, breaking down the proteins, reestablishing proteins, everything of that nature. And it requires a tremendous amount of calories. So sometimes, while you're sleeping, you burn all these calories off and you get up in the next morning and you notice you're lighter weight. Okay, so that leaves us with the stipulation that our weight, our corrective weight, our prime weight, or our ideal weight, however you want to call it, is a range. Okay, and here's an example of what I mean by a range. Let's say I'm 200 pounds, and I am 200 pounds. Okay, my healthy range for my weight would be between 195 and 205 because there is a 10-pound weight fluctuation range because our weights do tend to fluctuate day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. It fluctuates. There is no set weight that we maintain, that we stay at. However, we do want to try to maintain and stay within a healthy range and a fit range, a range of weight that's suitable for us, for our lifestyles, and and everything else we want to do and everything we want to be. Okay, so knowing this now that there's a range, we can set a goal weight or an ideal weight. Let's say mine is 200 pounds. So that means I'm going to try to stay between 195 and 205 within a healthy range right there for me, for myself. Now, for someone else, it might be different. They Their ideal weight could be 150, which means that their weight range would be from 145 to 155. Now, if we all understand that simple analogy that we're all in a weight range, we can live healthier and happier lives knowing that. Instead of trying to stay at one set weight. That's not going to happen. And especially when we age, we get older, we tend to put on a little bit more body fat and gain weight. But we don't want to gain that much weight. We always want to keep it to a minimum. It's- Gain as much or as little, gain as little as possible, and try to maintain the weight. That's what we have to do. It's weight maintenance. It's not weight loss, not dieting, or anything of that nature. But what we can do is we can do uh, activities, activities of daily living, or physical activities of walking, exercise, bike riding, canoeing, rowing, climbing, anything of that nature. When we're using our muscles, you know, we want to try to combat obesity. Now, obesity is a very real problem around the world, across the globe. Okay, and what we know about obesity is that it has reached epidemic proportions worldwide, posing a significant public health challenge. Defined as an excessive accumulation of body fat, obesity is typically measured using the body mass index, with a BMI of 30 or higher, classifying an individual as obese. This condition arises from a complex interplay of genetic, environmental, and behavioral factors, including poor dietary habits, sedentary lifestyles, and sub-economic status. Okay? The health implications of obesity are profound, directly contributing to numerous chronic diseases, including type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and certain types of cancer. Furthermore, obesity places a heavy burden on healthcare systems, resulting in increased medical costs and loss of productivity. Preventive strategies are vital to combat obesity. Public health initiatives must focus on promoting healthy eating and physical activity through education, policy changes, and community programs. Additionally, access to affordable health care and nutritional food should be prioritized to support at risk populations. And addressing obesity requires a multifaceted approach that engages individuals, communities, and governments. So, by fostering healthier environments and encouraging lifestyle changes, it may be possible to mitigate the effects of obesity and improve overall public health outcomes. So, we see what a problem obesity has become over the years. And at this time in our history, it is epidemic proportions. And there needs to be something done, some education, some help, some encouragement, some motivations, to be healthier and happier lives. Um, let's see. I'm going to go into some more uh, aspects of health. Let's talk about food. Now, people think that there are certain foods that make us healthy and keep us healthy and provide health for us all, and that may be true, but all food is good. Don't let anyone tell you that you have to eat a certain amount of food or a certain kind of food, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can eat whatever you choose, whatever is healthy for you, and whatever you're not allergic to, there's no harm for you. You can have anything, and God has given us, our Creator has given us that we can have anything and everything we want, because we have anything and everything we want in abundance, richly to use. However, it must be used in moderation. It must be used specifically for health and lifestyle endeavors. And we don't need to overindulge in food. No, that's not necessary. And overindulge in calories, because what we do is we come up to the point where uh, we realize calories in versus calories out has a definite effect on our weight. In other words, if we look at the calories we're taking in, and they are more than the calories that we're expending, that we're burning off and then we're losing, if the calories going in are more, we're going to gain weight. We're going to turn to gain weight. On the other hand, if the calories going in now are less than the calories going out, the calories expenditure, the calories we're burning off, calories we're working, if they are greater than the calories going in, we will lose weight. That's it. You gain, you lose. And when neither one is happening, the weight stays the same. So when your calories going in equals the calories going out, and the balance the same, the weight is maintained. It stays the same. Now we know this is a fact of life. There's no other way to get around it, no other way to dispute it or anything else. We know that controlling our amount of foods and the amount of activity has a profound effect on our weight. Okay. Now I want to talk about carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates often find themselves at the heart of dietary discussions, and rightfully so. They're a fundamental component of our diet. Now, there's other macronutrients as well, the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. I'm basically going to get into carbohydrates first, and then I'll get into proteins and fats later. But carbohydrates serve as a primary source of energy for our bodies, playing a crucial role in maintaining our overall health and well being. Despite their sometimes controversial reputation, carbohydrates are indispensable nutrients with significant physiological benefits. Now, what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are organic compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They are categorized into three main types: sugars, starches, and fibers. Sugars, or simple carbohydrates, include natural sugars found in fruits and dairy, as well as added sugars. Starches and fibers, known as complex carbohydrates, are found in foods like grains, legumes, and vegetables. Now, the role of carbohydrates. First of all, primary energy source. Carbohydrates are broken down into glucose, the body's primary energy currency, which fuels cells, tissues, and organs. This is especially true for the brain and muscles during high intensity exercise. Number two, support metabolic functions. Beyond supplying energy, carbohydrates aid in metabolizing fats and preventing protein from being used as an energy source, allowing proteins to carry out their primary functions like tissue repair and growth. Three, digestive health. Dietary fiber, a type of carbohydrates, is crucial for maintaining a healthy digestive system. Soluble fiber helps regulate blood sugar levels and reduces cholesterol, while insoluble fiber aids in movement through the digestive tract and preventing constipation. And number four, optimal athletic performance. For athletes, carbohydrates are essential for maximizing performance and recovery. They replenish glycogen stores, ensuing, ensuing sustained energy levels and endurance. Okay? Now, the good versus the bad. The key to benefiting from carbohydrates lies in choosing the right types. Complex carbohydrates, these include whole grains, legumes, and vegetables. They are high in fiber and nutrients, digest more slowly, and have a more gradual effect on blood sugar levels. Simple carbohydrates, often found in processed foods like candies and soft drinks, these can cause quick spikes in blood sugar. It's best to consume them in moderation. And after the spike in blood sugar occurs, then there's a drop, a hypoglycemic drop. That causes hypoglycemia, which is a state none of us is comfortable in or with. Okay? So, now, when we look at carbohydrates, it's only one of the three elements we look at. The second one is protein. Now, proteins are macronutrients. They are large, complex molecules that play many critical roles in the body. Building blocks. They are made up of smaller units called amino acids, which are essential for various bodily functions. Okay, the functions of proteins: one, muscle building, essential for growth and repair of tissues, especially muscles. Two, enzymes and hormones. Proteins function as enzymes that catalyze biochemical reactions and hormones that regulate body processes. Three, immune function. Antibiotics are proteins that help fight infections. Four, transport. Proteins help transport substances throughout the body. Examples are hemoglobin that carries oxygen. And now, sources of proteins. Animal sources. Meat, fish, dairy, and eggs are high in complex proteins, contain all essential amino acids. Plant sources. Beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, and whole grains are good sources of protein, though some may lack one or more essential amino acids. So, what's recommended intake? The recommended daily allowance, RDA, for protein varies by age, sex, and activity level, but a common guideline is about zero point 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for the average adult. Now, here's some tips for getting enough protein. One, incorporate a variety of protein sources to ensure you get all essential amino acids. Include protein rich foods in each meal and with snacks. Consider protein supplements like shakes or bars if you struggle to meet your needs through food alone. And finally, protein is vital for many functions in the body. If you have specific concerns or questions about protein intake, it may be helpful to consult a healthcare professional or nutritionist for personalized advice. And if you have any questions or need clarifications or anything, feel free to ask. Okay, and then finally, we want to talk about fats. Okay, let's understand the good, the bad, and the essential about fats. Fats has often been mischaracterized in nutritional discussions, but it is a vital component of a balanced diet. This macronutrient is crucial for overall health and well being. This article aims to classify the different types of fat, their roles in the body, and how to effectively incorporate healthy fats into your diet. Now, first of all, what is fat? Fat or lipid is one of the three primary macronutrients essential for energy alongside carbohydrates and proteins. Beyond serving as a source of energy, fat fulfills several key functions in the body. Number one, energy storage. Fat acts as the body's main energy reserve. When calorie intake exceeds expenditure, must remember calories in and calories out, excess calories are stored as fat for future energy needs. Number two, nutrient absorption. Fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K require fat for absorption, making dietary fat essential for optimizing nutrient intake. Number three, cell structure. Fats are fundamentally components of cell membranes, contributing to cell integrity and function, which is crucial for the health of all body cells. Four, hormonal balance. Fats are integral to hormonal production, affecting processes related to metabolism, growth, and reproductive health. And five, insulation and protection. Fat provides insulation, helping to maintain body temperature and offers cushioning for vital organs, protecting them from injury. Now, there are types of fats. Recognizing the various types of fats is essential for making informed dietary choices. Saturated fats, typically solid at room temperature, saturated fats are prevalent in animal products such as meat, pork, and dairy, as well as certain tropical oils like coconut and oil and palm oil. While not necessarily to eliminate these fats entirely, moderation is advised, and excessive intake may lead to elevated cholesterol levels. And unsaturated fats now, often labeled as good fats, these are usually liquid at room temperature and are found in foods like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. And unsaturated fats can be classified into monosaturated fats present in olive oil, avocados, and nuts. These fats can positively influence cholesterol levels and contribute to heart health. Now, let's talk about why we need carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Well, let's just go back. Let's go back 2,000 years ago, before all this. Now, when when people were eating carbohydrates and fats and proteins as well. We know that from Scripture that Jesus fed the multitude. He fed the multitude with 3 fish and 7 loaves of bread. Now, if we look at that percentage wise, 3 fish, 7 loaves. 7 and 3 is 10. So mathematically, we would say that the fish constituted the protein was 30% of all those calories consumed by everyone. And that the 70% was carbohydrates. There was no fat added to the diet because we don't need to add any fat to our diets. All the fat that we need in our diet comes from proteins and the carbohydrates. That's right. That's it. We don't need added fat. They didn't need added fat back then. We don't need it now, especially in our society where we're all mostly sedentary. Back then, 2,000 years ago, everybody was walking everywhere, or in a cart, or on a horseback, or a mule, getting around that way. But they walked a lot. I did a lot of walking. And nowadays, we don't walk. We sit. And we just let everything go to pot, literally, so to speak. Okay? So we need to recognize our relationship to food. What type of relationship do we have with food? Is it a positive relationship? Is it a healthy relationship? Is it a relationship that educates us, it keeps us informed about our own health and well being? Okay? Weight management. Okay, so there's positive suggestions that can help you to maintain your weight, and perhaps the most positive is appearance. Now, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we see an image either we're going to be satisfied with or we're not going to be satisfied with. And majority of us are not satisfied with the way we look. So we want to change that. Well, how do we do that? Well, you want to get with someone who is a professional, who cares enough about you to want to help you to reach your healthy weight, your your fit weight. So whatever your goal is, be it realistic. And remember, all goals must be SMART goals. They must be specific, they must be measurable, they must be attainable, they must be realistic, and they must be timely. SMART, SMART goals. Because that way, when you set SMART goals, you set them with someone who's a professional, like me, or a personal trainer, or a nutritionist, or another therapist. But however you do, be successful with your goals. And don't do it alone. Have someone else. Have a partner, a family member, anyone, a friend, someone else in the gym that you go to or you frequent, or a friend at the hospital where you work, or anywhere. Just because when you have two people, we can support each other. When one goes down, the other one goes up. And when one goes up, the other one goes down. But you keep a balance there. You encourage one another and see to it that you do reach your goals together. Okay, and I want to talk about something else. So too, that it's okay to treat yourself. I notice I said treat. That's another thing. I don't like when people say I cheat on my cheat day because cheating is such a negative connotation. I get rid of all negative connotations. I don't say you're cheating on your diet. I say you're going to treat yourself this one day out of 7 for all the other 6 days that you were good, that you stuck with your plan, your nutrition plan, that you stuck with your activity and diet, and that you maintained. Okay? Therefore, you reward yourself with a treat day. Now, that doesn't mean you go out and pick out and just like that. It just means you have one item that you use sparingly. It could be a piece of cake, it could be a cookie, it could be a donut. Just that one item and at one time. doing your 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 nutrition. That one day that you're gonna have one item to treat yourself for being good all the other 6 days. So there's no cheating, no negative connotations there. And another thing I don't like is when you're doing your activities, you want to work hard, you want to put a little oomph into it. You don't want to just haphazardly go about doing things. No, you want to risk putting some effort into it, but you burn more calories that way. Okay. Um, Now the point the point being, uh, where was I? Mm, when we burn calories, we lose weight. Okay. Taking in calories, you're gaining weight. Now, where was I? There's a point where we look at uh, mm, losing weight. Let's say there's a time when mm, where was I? Let me hold up. Let's see. Okay, let's just go back to having rewards. Okay, I heavily believe in a token reward system. Okay, as a child, I used to make first, second, and third place certificates for my brothers and sisters, my siblings, whenever we played games like Sorry or Headache or Monopoly or Old Maid. Whoever won first place got the first place certificate. Whoever got second place got the second place certificate. And whoever got third place got the third place certificate. Now, I've always believed that, ever since I was a kid, that the token reward system is the best way to go to having things achieved. Now, as a personal trainer, I incorporate the same system with my clients. Whenever they reach their goals, they would get a certificate. John Doe uh, was able to successfully complete his goal weight of 150 pounds on this first day of January 2026, witnessed by Fred D. Thompson, certified personal trainer, health and fitness consultant. And they get a certificate. And that was marvelous. But now at HMI, we get certificates all the time. I'm right where I believe I'm supposed to be. Because they believe in a token reward system as well. And each and every one of us that successfully completes our goals here are rewarded. And now there's so much more that I can't even begin to speculate about the rewards from being able to now help people, not just physically as a personal trainer, but now emotionally and mentally now as a hypnotherapist. I'm really looking forward to it. And if anyone would like to have any further inquiries or have any questions or anything, I could be reached online at Facebook at Fred Thompson, Spiritfit 2000. And now I'm going to close off just with a little prayer about helping us to maintain. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this moment that we were able to come together and share our knowledge and experience and understanding, Father. And we thank you for all the blessings you have for us this year. And may we all reach our goals and everyone be successful. And I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you all. I hope you really accept this lesson. And like I said, reach out to me if you have any questions. Take care, be well, and God bless. Bye bye.